I was talking and then forgot to turn the mic on. Oh dear. Well, hello and welcome. Fancy new start screen, yes, and I got like a few fancy other things that I will be using in the videos and so on. This UI will develop as things go along for the live stream. Oh God, don't tell me the voice isn't working. Let me see. How come? Okay, cool. It kind of got me a bit confused here because I had like two chat thingies, and for some reason it was like one of them said that voice was disabled, and the other one said it was working. So I was kind of like, yeah, okay. Anyway, that has been resolved. So menu. hmm. I have an idea on how to create it, and I was thinking about doing the array variables, but we shall see. So one of the cool things that I know of, this is like the second one. If you have a I already have all of this stuff set up, so you can actually, if you have multiple instances of Bakin open, you can literally just copy this. I think we'll go down to there, copy it, and then paste it into the other one. I like here. So it'll save a hell of a lot of time. It is a complete godsend. So all of that is set up. Okay. And then went back to the second monitor. So just to verify, we will have all the keys. Camera, menu, yep, they're all done. It is a complete game saver. It's, saves you exporting and then importing and then tweaking. And in SGB, you couldn't even do that. So it was a bit of a, more difficult. First thing is first in the rules and operations. I think I'm gonna check that one because they're better, I think, for custom menu. This should not call up the menu yet. So how the hell are we going to do this? Okay. Using this as a reference point, that window that you saw in there. I haven't even done the menu yet. It's completely blank, so we're literally going to start all over again. Reference sheet. So note, I use menu. Do it like this. Unfortunately, one of the things I think that they should do is normally when you put like a new line or /n, I guess, it will not separate. And I think this should be a nice feature to have. But unfortunately can't do it that way. You know what I mean? It's yeah. If you got it, like in other words, if you got a new line, it should be implemented in the notes here, because otherwise I have to do it this way. New notes. So array 0 is gonna be the initial menu position. And then array 1 and be the submenu. I have another one for menu background. I guess it'll expand this as time goes on, but yeah. Uh, hmm. So code menu. I should be able to variable box when the menu is called. No, actually. Hmm. Oh God. Okay. Just check a minute. That's right. It's menu. Okay. So string is menu is equals to -1 as soon as it's pressed. Right. We will need to disable the camera. And disable player operation, because otherwise we're moving around the place. Can't have that. That's one thing I learned in SGB. They can't run either, and can't jump. So when the menu is called, this is what happens, and then change this menu cursor and position. Okay. I'm just kind of like sort of winging this at the moment. May have to go back and edit it. Who knows? So let's see. Array variable. New array. Cursor position. Cursor X. And cursor Y. So this one would be one. I am not sure of the exact coordinates that these should be for the cursors, etc. We need to import this. That would be this would be the base, and we have to import separately background, and then the cursor, which I already have, but let's do it this way. Now I have to figure out where it is exactly. That one, that one, that one first. So test it out to see. Um, hmm. Check this minute. Game definition in the menu. See, that should... What the hell is going on here? Repeat in parallel when the menu key is pressed. Should display this. Common events. Okay, key menu. That's what's wrong. Now that's interesting. It's all of the variables. That's interesting. All of the variables are actually set. That's interesting. Let's verify. I want to verify this is bugging me, right? So you have the variable. They've all imported properly when you copy and paste them, but none of these have actually been created for the variables. Huh. Okay, so the copy and paste method isn't really kind of like it's not really viable enough. Because it won't automatically add them. You have to like literally create. So key menu. Yeah, I agree. Still not 100%, but you would think if it copied and pasted from one to the other, then you can use it as a pretty much like a guide to what you want to do, and then like visibly go in and create all of the variables you need. Hey, Evolution, welcome. Import, export makes them. Yeah, it does. It does. I wanted to avoid that to try to kind of like, speed things along, but I guess impatience has no place in game development. Just have to do it the manual way. It's not a big deal. Just, we can use it as the guide and then do it that way. So that's the menu. Yeah, there you go. And then, oh, obviously, like, it doesn't have a cancel thingy yet. So, let's see. So the next thing would be the background, I guess. And that means creating another variable box, which would be menu array, and just background. So the background is 1, 0. Oops, didn't mean to cancel that out. Background array is 0. Then display another image, number 1, and that. So for that, set up the variables step 1. So array. And once again, it's kind of like it's kind of messed up that importing and exporting one. Okay, so what I'll do really quickly off screen is just export this. Then do it this way. Okay. Paste. Yeah. All right. That should resolve a lot of the problems. Okay, with making custom menus, do we know if we can make a cursor that takes over the inherent default cursor? And if we wait to make the cursor usable in full screen mode. The customized cursor, if you're doing an entirely customized menu as I am, then you can have the cursor. But as far as if you're going through the layouts, the cursor is not, let me see, go to the main menu. The cursor is normally like separate, I guess. You would have the main window, and then you have an option for the default cursor, which you can change to any kind of like sprite that you want. You can add your own animations as it is here, however you want. And that's set up elsewhere. But yeah, you can have an entirely customized cursor. For instance, in one of the experiments that I was making, I had like a proper sword. Wasn't animated or anything, but the sword kind of like had the hilt here, and then behind each one of the menu items had the sword. So when you move the cursor by default, it would do that. And you can perfectly do that. It'll work in it will work in full screen mode as well. But that's the simplest way of doing it. Maybe that would merit a tutorial at some point, or like everything you can do with the cursor, including animating it. I've got like a whole list of tutorials to do, and unfortunately, just so many of them. It's got to put them in some kind of order. Oh, key menu. And it's a content background. It's equal to that, so initialize, assign one to the background. It should work. If it doesn't, then we're going to basically just bloody start this whole thing again. Um, I guess everything got like messed up. Key menu. Everything got messed up with the copy and paste experiment. Failed as though it was. Oh, what? Key menu. So, come on. Okay, so the conclusion is copy and pasting events, especially with variables, will not, does not, cannot work. Fair enough? Let's do it this way. Menu. You know, this kind of thing can only happen in Livestream, right? Okay, so key menu. Wanted to actually check the arrays here. So the background one will work. Um, okay, you know what? I am going to completely delete this. You should see how frustrated I was with one of my live streams. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The number in the past when live streaming, I tell you, it's one of the things that you probably have zero tolerance for certain things. And what's quite funny is when things don't work and they continuously don't work, it's probably the only time that I'll invent swear words, but at the same time have to be mindful because YouTube just doesn't like it. So yeah, there was a couple, like going back a couple of years ago now when I first started SGB. um because of its limitations, there was a thing in it was on, I believe it was on Twitch. I was streaming on Twitch at the time, and the amount of swear words that were there, because it just wasn't doing what it was supposed to, even though logically it was set up structurally all correct. And so, just cussing and yeah, so that video had to be deleted. I can imagine that the ABS, the ABS would be a cause for that kind of frustration. I tried in SGB, and that's why I kind of like thought, okay, screw this. I'm not even going to touch the battle system anymore because it was just too much. But I think from what I can see, Bakin's one is a little bit more intuitive and slightly better. So what the hell? Completely okay, right. Completely messed this up. Absolutely messed it up. I'd like to really go into the battle system in back in, like, do it properly, because that's probably the only place, and the 2D sprites themselves, that I haven't gone into. The rest is okay. um so we're gonna start all over again. This time do it properly and import the damn thing instead of copy and pasting. Just got burn status for working my battle system. Awesome. Awesome. So you are making progress. To me, it's always interesting to see what other people come up with and how they can kind of like, basically, how how they develop things, how it develops, or how they develop things. Because a lot of times I've found that with me, um, I don't do things the way that other people. Every developer has a different way of doing things, and sometimes when I'm watching your live stream or other people's live streams, even afterwards, I was thinking, okay, cool. That's not quite how I would do it, but that method kind of works. And so it's all about like learning from one another in the end. Okay, so import. Let's do it this way. What's this? Delete that. Monitor constants. This is correct. Let's do it this way. I don't want this to be displayed just yet. The dang animation visuals aren't lining up. That's always the case, isn't it? It's sort of there's always one thing that just doesn't kind of like add up, and then do all the others right, and then there's another problem. All part of the game development and the fun we have. Got to figure out how to ignite an enemy, then how to damage other enemies if they touch them. I'm not sure how to do that, to be honest. It would be something to look into. Maybe Melon can answer that, since he's had a little bit more experience with that kind of thing. I'll have to look into that. You got me very curious now. Curious. Okay, so just to confirm this one, menu 0, menu 1. These are the arrays, and this is where I get absolutely confused. You keeping track of all of this, like lovely stuff. So automatically, and if key menu lesson 1, basically copy and paste them because they are safe. So the next part, set up the arrays. For menu, there's a position. Menu cursor X. Can't type. X. Menu cursor Y. This would be set to 1. I'm not entirely sure where the positions were, but I'm going to wing it and guess 240. Let's have a look. That's one of the other backgrounds that I had, by the way, but it's too bright. I have to kind of like change that. You basically unlock it. The idea is you unlock it as you go along. This is so disorganized. So let me see. Button 3, button 1. So what would ultimately this be? I guess it's all double, so it would be 240 by 160, I guess. So we shall see. Oh, colliders. Yes, of course. Bakin has a very good collision system. Working on 2 projects. Took some time with family at Christmas. Yep, the Christmas break from game dev. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it does help to have a complete break, especially for holiday, and spending family time is important. And I catch up on chat a minute. If you watch my stream at 5:30, yeah, when you're gonna stream, Melon, when you're gonna stream, just sort of like say, "Hey, Wolf, get off. It's my time." And we'll end this. I'm not sure how much progress I'm going to be able to make with this particular one because I'm still kind of like figuring it out myself. But as soon as you stream, kick me off, and I'll see if I can visit for even a couple of minutes, or hopefully longer, and we'll go from there. Because I would really like to. I'm very interested in the progress that you've been making with that. Yeah, for sure. And like I said earlier, it's all about sort of learning from one another. So that should be all right. And then we're going to, since we're starting all over again, display the image once more. Probably have to import this again. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is this. It's going to make things a lot easier in the long run. I think also that one of the nice features about this is the menus and the submenus that you can have, but maybe it would be more pertinent to be able to add things as you import them through the image selection. So you're going to have all of these. What do you mean they're over? Okay. I didn't realize that. So that's it. Full menu. And then this one could be the base. That one. Yeah, that's the cool thing about about the live streams is that they are recorded afterwards, so that people who can't view the stream invariably will see it, after the fact. Menu array tablet background, so we can do it that way, right? So variable box, if background But the cool thing about having the arrays is that kind of like you can have it where, I mean, I've been playing around with the arrays for different reasons, but if you have like a background, you can actually have, say, array 0 as the um, the unlocked backgrounds, and then you can have one separate one for the unlocked backgrounds, like say array 1, and that way you can display them in like a proper menu to determine which ones have been locked, which ones have not, and it's really quite cool the way that can be done. So, I mean, I'll continue to experiment with this offline, but then once, I've learned something, then, I'll put them all in tutorials or live streams or something and just carry on with that. Got to check. Make sure this is set correctly. So the background 0 should be equals to 1. And then menu is press, do all that, assign the variables. Background 0 is equals to 1. It should display the image. Hopefully this will work. If it doesn't, then just... Oh, come on. What the... This is where I swear. It's because, this is basically a duplicate of the one that I have in the Untitleds game, right? Duplicate, exactly the same. And yet when it comes to it like this, it doesn't work. Duplicate. Let me... Operation key menu, right? Oh dear God. And so if key menu is -1, yeah. The joys of game development, right? Works one way, and then when you do it again, it doesn't work, and then it does work, and then you tweak it, and it still doesn't work. So yeah, this actually ultimately doesn't work. Now this is the other one. On the actual okay, here goes. This is the Untitleds one. And you will see it exactly the same. But except for one thing. Okay. Okay. Bye bye. That. Bye bye. This is the original The Untitled one. I just do not have the patience or the time or the incentive to continue doing it that way. I just don't. So the way I've got this set up anyway is when the key is pressed, it'll disable all this. It will assign the arrays for the positions, and then the menu array itself. This one would be like the if you like the number of the menu, like the submenus. This one would be the background, and then it displays the base as it is. If the background variable is equals to 1, then it will display this one. If it's not, you can display others. Now, I've also set up here, just like in the Untitleds, a gender string. So, you know, in the beginning of the game, you will choose your gender. And so if it's male, then it would display this particular one with a male profile. If it's not, right, basically, if it's male, it'll display the male one. And if it's not, it will display the female one. Pretty straightforward. And then it will display the cursor. The menu cursor coordinates X and Y, which had actually set to 240 and 160, which is correct. I was earlier on, I was pretty much guessing based on the GIMP that it would be double. And then this is where the fun begins. We turn on the menu with a local switch. So when it's run, the custom menu will work, and then part of the menu thing is you can actually move the cursor backwards and forwards. But if you wanted to ultimately use the mouse to sort of like move along, there is a conflict between keys and mouse, which I haven't quite figured out yet, because you know you can use the mouse cursor in XY positions to basically have it within this little area. But the problem so far, and this is where the kind of like anomaly is if you have the mouse over that particular one profile, it seems to be that the mouse position will override it, so you have to kind of like consider keys or mouse. I don't know why. We'll figure it out. It's got to be a workaround. So after that, the calling the menu. Local menu is on. What is this exactly? You know, I can't remember what SA stands for. Oh, I know what this is. Yeah. This is the debug thing. It's just will change. It'll show the positions up on the debug thing, and also this is where it's displayed. So for the first one, profile cursor position is a profile, and then this is displayed a little bit below, and the key is pressed down to the next position. Open up. Gonna open up the menu a minute. This would make it a little bit easier. So this would be position 1, position 2, and so on and so on. So when you're moving the X, you know, you're pressing right to move the X, it would move on to the next one and add a certain amount. If you're doing it down, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you would add 8 to the cursor position. Yeah, that's right. So was it sort of should be 8, I think. And then this would add Y, so you can move the cursor down. So I want to check this to see if this is correct. Moving it down. That should be position 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, correct. Oh, what's that doing? I haven't deleted the images yet. So this is pretty much like the left and right thing. Profile, that. Yeah. See, so why is it that this one would work and the other one didn't, even though it's like a complete duplicate of the other? So that's why I said, okay, let's just focus on this one. It's not, this particular one is not fully developed yet, but is pretty much like mostly done. This one, I've got the skeleton of the thing. So for the next one with the status, cursor position would be equals to 2, and then that would be on the stats here. We can pretty much do the same sort of thing. the same coordinates, 500, 780. 500, 780. Now, should be in the same position. If you press key up, then it should be back to position 1 for the profile. No, hold on a minute. That shouldn't be there because the stats. Stats. And right, it will move on to the next one. Move the image key down. That's why it wouldn't work. Yep, Bakin. Just like SGB, it can be a fickle mistress, but at the same time, it can be quite forgiving. So key, this should be 8. And then this should be 180. And it's basically boring. Rinse and repeat. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Yeah. So basically, if you press down on status, you are actually moving the background. So that shouldn't be the case. This should be image 5. That's when game dev goes wrong, right? So test it. It should work as it there. It is the cursor. Um, yes. So now to do the boring copy and paste. So the next one. Oh, okay. That shouldn't be there. Next one would be position 3. That would be the gallery. Um, you, I don't know, photos, pictures. That'll do. And then down. $180. Got to make sure that this isn't moving the background again. That's the cursor. Um, okay. jukebox. So number 4, this would be the jukebox. I always check play songs you've unlocked. That would be great for later. Not sure how to do this in Bakin yet, but I'm sure we'll figure something out. Let's be by 8. 180. Move number 5. Yeah. Oh, you can hear the cogs ticking. Looks great. So it's time for... Yeah. Thank you, Evolution. I don't know if you did see the Smile Game Builder version of this, but it was kind of like it was with the Smile Game Builder version. It was pretty much mostly complete. And including some of its limitations. So I decided, okay, well, why not just to see if it can be done. And so far, it kind of like seems to work, because one of the things that I really, really, really like about Bakin is the variable arrays. Instead of having like 10 million variables for doing, for multiple things, you can essentially just put everything down into one particular array. I love arrays anyway. I will always have done. So that's it. This one, if it's going to be fleshed out properly, then it will definitely be something to work from, because you can call many of the actual layout events on this to a degree, but I want to customize absolutely everything using the events just to see if I can do it, or to see if it can be done. So this one needs to be number 3 and 5, I think. So if you call the menu, it works. Yeah, there you go. Should be able to, yes. There is actually a bit of an anomaly that haven't quite been able to work out yet. Because everything's set up correctly. It's just that when you say, for instance, if you open up the profile, you create like a layout for the profile, and then you like right click to exit. See, because it sort of oh, that's my bad. So anyway, if you like, you could select the profile and then you could display it here, and the background seems to be slightly off. I just noticed that. I have to adjust that later. Anyway, you open up the profile and it has a layout. If you click on, like, you exit from the profile using the layouts, you don't go back to this. You'll go back to the menu. I mean, you'll go back to the initial screen. So you'll have to open it up again. I'm sure there's a workaround for it, just haven't found it yet. So that should be good. We have that's put some notes because they are extremely handy. Extremely. Number 3 for the gallery. So this one, there is no right. Why have I set it up like this? I just noticed. There's no need to have them embedded like this, because it'll go through each and every one anyway. So I don't know. I will stick with this one right now. So for number 4, that's jukebox. Just remember we have else ifs that work too. Yeah. I think that was I think this was basically the logic behind it. The initial one, if the up key is pressed, then do this. If not, or else, if key right is pressed, do this, else. And you know, that was kind of like the logic behind it, but it's not really necessary because you can have them separately. And that's what sort of I was thinking about at the time of doing this. Doesn't really matter because in the end it's going to be the same thing anyway. There's jukebox, and I guess the next one would be documents. Not sure if I want to keep this documents or basically rename it to something else. The original idea behind the contacts and email, well, the contacts anyway, was the original idea was that if you met somebody new and you exchanged a contact number, you'd be able to like open up a little menu, and from the phone or tablet or whatever, you'd be able to call them. I'm not sure how you get this one to work yet. And it was the same with the email. The idea was that you could like send and receive emails. The calendar and the clock would need some work. Everything else is pretty much set. So, you know, I mean, at least like it would be it. I think this is going to be it for now. Yeah, because got something more accomplished, even though it's like a bit of an upset at the beginning. Got this done and you got like a basic skeleton for the menu. It would be expanding this over the next like couple of streams, I think, because then maybe in the next stream we can do the profile, and actually when you press the OK key, then the profile will come up. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to end the stream here. My other half is woken up, and she's eager to commandeer my attention. So, meantime, that's it. Thank you all for coming in. And Melon, if I don't catch you in your stream, then I will for sure afterwards. All right. That's it for now. See you all. Bye for now. Thanks again for coming in. Till the next time.